And this is the Cape May part of the railroad. Underplanted with hostas and beesia and a small lamb's ear stackies. The beesia is a relatively new plant, only in the markets for 3 or 4 years. So we have hostas and astilbe, and the slugs are starting to get to the hosta. This is a whole stand of tansy. When I lived in Elmer and worked at Elmer Hospital, one of my friends there gave me a piece, and I also brought that back with us. So along the back we have hostas and daisies and astilbe and lady mantle. The only string beans I plant now are scarlet runner beans, not only for the great flowers, but the beans grow quite large and they have a very good taste and they stay pretty tender. And to complement that, right next door there's a dahlia I got from my friend Dana, and the colors are very complementary. The orange and the yellow. And next to that is a water lily dahlia. Which I probably bought at the Seattle Flower Show. We have a barrel of raspberries, which is a late raspberry crop. They don't bloom until, or bear until September. A little vignette with birdhouses, more daisies. This is our wreck train on the rails in Thornson's Harbor near Ace's Boats. And here's a model of Palermo that Mr. Voss built for Bob. This is a perennial impatiens, which has gorgeous leaves, and it really likes the shade and it likes to be moist. It's been a little dry for it. We haven't had one drop of rain since we came home. And now we have the Atlantic City Electric Company. With some Peabody cars, coal cars, bringing coal to the company. And in front of that is a Legularia. And one of my benches, because I have to sit a lot to garden today. This is cucumber row, and I have things planted in the bricks in front, and the cucumbers are growing up the back. And I like the pickling cucumbers because I want to make pickles. The peas have done quite well here. We have them every night in our salad raw. Strawberries are done for the time being. These were the June bearers, which bore like crazy while we were away. My garden waterer says she has tons of them in her freezer. This other bed of strawberries is everbearing, and it will put out another crop later in the season. The onions that Bob and I planted are bent over, starting to cure, and which means they'll be ready to be dug pretty soon. Parsley and more peas. First peas are done. Potato barrel. Potatoes are done. These are butterball, and they will be dug probably next week. We have a lot of white phlox David, which is very fragrant, but it spreads like crazy, and I have to keep yanking some of it out. Black-eyed Susans, which also spread. Sedum Autumn Joy, which will bloom pink in about a month. Coreopsis goldsturm and yarrow. In front of our maple tree, which this year and last year has turned red really early. I'm wondering if it's doing really well or if there's a problem. The leaves also used to be bigger. We have lavender phlox over here. That also spreads. This was from a little, probably a gallon pot. Our yellow zucchini are doing quite well. Lots of tomatillas, but they're not ripe yet. They're still hollow in the middle. And more yellow zucchini. I have a green one, a couple green ones in here, but they're shadowed, and I'm not sure if they're going to ripen or not. This was the lettuce bed, but it's bolting now. Some of it is going to head, but most of it's going to seed. I planted some new plants yesterday for the fall growth. Here's Dad's old-fashioned root beer car that Bob got for his 75th birthday from Liam, Tammy, and Rob at the Corn Products building. The Stetson Tower. And Lipschultz Freight Forwarding with its work trucks. And now we come on the Pennsylvania Railroad Kensington Freight Station. Keystone Coal with the circus car that Rob, Tammy, and Liam also got Bob for his birthday last year. Here's the passenger railway station, Kensington, with somebody waiting for the train. And an old Pepsi-Cola truck. And the Keno yard. It's quite a railroad. And quite a garden. I have a few pots this year, not as many as other years. This is a new plant. It's a variegated abutilon, and I will have to bring it in for the winter because it's not hardy. None of these plants in pots are hardy except for the